Hey, I just started my period backstage. Does anyone here have a tampon? I'm just kidding. I'm always prepared. You're probably wondering, why am I bringing such a private topic out in the open to discuss, especially in a large audience like this? A little awkward, don't you say? Well, that's the issue. It's awkward because we aren't talking about it openly enough. It's something we can't control, yet we keep it so private. A lot of us grew up in an environment where it was shameful to discuss menstruating out in the open. In my household, casually mentioning about menstruating over dinner would have been seen as inappropriate. When I first started my period, I was too scared to tell my mother. And since I was the oldest daughter, I was alone in this new experience. For 2 whole days, I went without any menstrual products. 2 whole days. By day 3, I thought to myself, okay, Harsna, toughen up. 3 days ago, you were a girl. Today, you're a woman. So I cried in front of my mom. Growing up, I realized my mom did the best she could with what she knew. She grew up in India, where people who menstruate still suffer from period taboo, forcing many, like my mom, to keep matters to herself. And of course, years and years of growing up in a country that forces people on their monthly periods to not step foot in the kitchen or go to the temple where they worship their gods. My mother would raise her daughters in a better environment, away from the period taboo she faced. Another experience I think we can all relate to is going to school without any menstrual products. I remember hiding a tampon like this in the sleeve of my arm and quickly running over to my best friend's backpack or their sleeve, making sure no one was looking. We used to joke that we were spies on a top secret mission. But in actuality, we were 2 scared girls, ashamed to show the world we were on our period. Why is that? Why does society make millions of people afraid to show they're on their period? It's because people have associated with something like gross, disgusting, making those that don't menstruate uncomfortable to hear or talk about it. And those that do menstruate have to suffer in silence. Thus, the topic of period poverty, hardly mentioned. I want everyone to think about 4 people in their lives that menstruate. I'll give you a second to think about it. For me, it is my mom, my 2 sisters, and my best friend. Of those 4, pick one person. That person doesn't get any menstrual products. Now, let's add a 5th person. I'm going to use my childhood best friend. That person has to miss school because of a lack of menstrual products. Now, you're probably wondering, why am I making you do this? Well, did you know, according to the St. Louis University, 1 in 4 people who menstruate can't afford any menstrual products? And 1 in 5 girls have to miss school because of lack of menstrual products, according to the Always Confidence and Puberty survey? The sad truth is, people who can't afford menstrual products have to pick between buying a meal or getting menstrual products, often having to resort to using like paper towels, rags, cloths, newspapers, children's diapers, and even animal skin. Now, I want everyone to think back at a time they were in a classroom. Whether it be your old high school classroom, your old college classroom, or even your current college classroom. Did you know 1 in 10 college students can't afford menstrual products, according to the George Mason University survey done? 1 in 10. So my peers who I've gossiped with, did group projects, even freaked about taking an exam, could be suffering from a lack of menstrual products. Now, how many of y'all miss school or work due to symptoms of menstruating? I know I have countless times. For those who don't menstruate, let me describe you what you might face. Bloating, cramps, joint pain, muscle ache, diarrhea, even migraines. Now, how many of y'all honestly told your teachers or your boss that you're missing school or work due to symptoms of menstruating. I know I've lied countless times, often saying, hey, I don't feel well, or I got a doctor's appointment actually, or I have a headache. I felt ashamed. I felt like my period symptoms were not valid excuses to miss school or work. I would often resort to taking a lot of painkillers just to endure period cramps so I can make it to class on time. Periods mentally and physically affect a lot of people, yet many are forced to endure these symptoms because period taboo makes them ashamed or makes them scared or make them feel like they're not valid excuses to miss school or work. Another area that society often looks are incarcerated people in prison that are suffering from huge period poverty. Did you know, according to the American Civil Liberties Union, 38 out of 50 states are not required to have any menstrual products, forcing many to beg prison guards, often being exploited sexually just to get these products. Some have to give up money typically used to call loved ones or to pay for attorney just to get products that aren't given to them. Some have to endure their bloody pants for days, ruining the clothes they have and the bed they sleep in, causing poor menstrual hygiene. According to the American Medical Association, poor menstrual hygiene can cause some serious health conditions. For instance, urinary and vaginal tract infection, toxic shock syndrome, and even some severe reproduction health conditions. 500 million people worldwide suffer from period poverty. If truly 500 million people are suffering from period poverty, then why isn't this talked about? Why must a 21-year-old here at Michigan State University have to bring a talk about bringing awareness of period poverty? It is because even in the 21st century, where self-driving cars exist, billionaires can go to space for fun, period poverty and period taboo is still a current issue today. I started looking into period equity legislation my freshman year of college. I distinctly remember sitting on the top of my lofted dorm bed in Holmes Hall, reading about the taxation of menstrual hygiene products. Finding out that menstrual hygiene products were considered luxury tax items, so they were taxed, whereas donuts weren't. What I got from the reading was, hey, you, if you're gonna need a tampon or a pad for something you can't control, you're gonna have to pay a little extra. But if you're craving a donut, that tax on me, XOXO, the state of Michigan. Oh my God, I was furious. But at the time, I was like, how could I, one person, make a change? I'm pre-med. I know absolutely nothing about how the government works. So when I joined my student government my sophomore year of college, I started advocating for the elimination of sales and use tax on menstrual hygiene products. In my research, I found 15 legislations brought to the Michigan State House and Michigan State Senate since 2016. 15 times. You'd think it would be one and done, but you'd be quite surprised there were people against it. Why? They didn't want to see that tax revenue collected from menstrual hygiene products gone. So I begged a bunch of state representatives, senators, and tried to beg them to have a meeting with me and explain how discriminatory this tax was, and if the bills were passed, it could make menstrual products more accessible for all. Finally, in November of last year, Governor Whitmer signed the bill, which was fully enacted this year in February. I'm proud to say the state of Michigan I'm proud to say the state of Michigan no longer tax menstrual hygiene products. I know, that's a round of applause. I didn't stop there. I continued my work against period poverty in my community, East Lansing. Back in October of last year, I met with city council members in East Lansing and brought up the idea of, hey, can we have free menstrual products in public restrooms? In February of this year, they passed it. So now if you go to your local library or any public restroom here in East Lansing, you can find free menstrual products. Now I can go on and talk about period poverty, period taboo, and the advocacy being done, but I want you all to go home with one way to dismantle period poverty or period taboo. Firstly, donate. I cannot express how many people don't realize they can donate menstrual products. A great place to donate is actually at your local food bank. There's some great organizations that our main purpose is to provide free menstrual products at no cost. One notable organization here in East Lansing is Helping Women Period. There's also two amazing student-led organizations here at Michigan State University called Mission Menstruation and Pad the Mitten that are working tirelessly to provide free menstrual product in every bathroom here. So if you're from this area, please donate to them. By donating, you can truly help those experiencing low income disparities and those that rely on SNAP because they have to buy menstrual products at full price. Secondly, start your own period equity advocacy or support those that are currently being trying to pass. Start locally. A lot of cities in the United States don't provide free menstrual products. Ann Arbor just became the first city in the United States this year to have free menstrual products in every public restroom. So, get the conversation started in your own city. Talk to your city council member, and let's get more free menstrual products in public restrooms. After this talk, I want everyone to Google their home state. Look up to see if there's still a taxation of menstrual hygiene products. If there is, see if there's any bills being done to eliminate that. If there is, contact your state representative, your senator's office, or email them and tell them you support this. Sign petition, create petitions, but more importantly, spread the awareness of how important this bill is. And if you think your state representative or senator are opposed of it, call or email them, bug them, and tell them, as your constituent, why this bill is important to be passed, not only for you, but for your community. Because menstrual products should not be considered a luxury item. It should be accessible for all. A lot of schools, universities, and colleges don't provide any menstrual products for free. MSU is sadly one of them. Currently, I'm working with amazing organizations on campus to provide free menstrual products in every public restroom here. But if your college, university, or school doesn't have any, get the conversation started. Make a meeting with your administration or make a meeting with the superintendents and try to get free menstrual products. You can truly support those on their monthly cycle. Thirdly, support those that menstruate. Never use negative language around menstruating. Don't say, ew, disgusting. Don't call it impure. Because using negative connotations can cause other people who are menstruating to feel shame or bad about it. Always have menstrual products in your bathroom. You'd be quite surprised how many people who randomly got their period need a tampon. If you're a boss, a teacher, a coworker, a friend, let people know it's okay to miss school or work because of period symptoms. And if you menstruate, it's a valid excuse to miss school or work because of menstrual symptoms. Also, don't always assume cis women menstruate. Hence, using gender-inclusive language like people that menstruate instead of women menstruating is vital. Lastly, share your story. By sharing your experience with period taboo, period poverty, and menstruating, you can help foster open communication and make it a safe environment for others to share their story, making others not feel alone. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done to dismantle period poverty or period taboo, So I hope you found a way to do that, because I truly believe one person can make a difference. Thank you.